From political debates to the Death Star with cake loads of comedy in between. Expect the unexpected. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Eddie Izzard moments. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're counting down the best and most memorable moments from the influential and unpredictable career of the inimitable Eddie Izzard, from his stand-up routines to his stellar contributions to charity, politics and social issues. Number 10. Horror movies. Izzard regularly weaves pop culture references into his set to share his many musings on everything from James Bond to Star Trek. Here he rounds on horror movies to provide a unique assessment of the genre's many pitfalls.
And all the titles of the films are The Thing That Came From Somewhere, The House That Jack Built.
Tackling vampire films in particular, it's a topic that lots of comedians have harnessed before, but Izzard's creative stream of consciousness approach makes the usual observations feel fresh again.
Which means it's the shape, so fingers should work. And if it's fingers, he's got no chance. Vampires going, I will bite you down, you've got no fingers.
Number 9. Stoned Olympics. Performance-enhancing drugs in sports has been a hot topic for years, so trust Eddie to offer this as a solution. For another standout stand-up routine, he concocts the idea of an Olympic Games where certain drugs are actually mandatory.
Smoke a joint and win the 100 meters, and fair play to you.
And the comic's imagination runs wild with the possibilities, as his unusual pitch gathers pace.
If you get 10 runners off their faces, it'd be great.
In a matter of minutes, he has us convinced that the Stoned Olympics would be a sporting spectacle, and then some.
Final event would be the marathon, the traditional end of the Olympics, where 35 runners from different countries run out of the stadium and are never heard of again.
Number 8. Tony P. With roles in films ranging from the heist sequel Ocean's 12 to Disney's The Wild, Izzard's acting career is rich with variety, but this early role still stands out. In the cult superhero comedy Mystery Men, Eddie plays one of the hilarious henchmen to Jeffrey Rush's Casanova Frankenstein.
Disco is not dead. Disco is life. Yes, Tony, that is the passion.
Donning a disco look, he's given limited screen time as Tony P, but the bits he is in are brilliant. Cameos rarely get cooler.
Kill you later, super losers!
Number 7. Late night shopping. Most of us have experienced the apparent oddness of an out-of-hours grocery run, but clearly Izzard has been going to an especially strange petrol station.
There's a big communication problem, isn't there? They build this bulletproof glass and it's soundproof.
This exaggerated description of the perils and pitfalls of late night shopping somehow manages to seem weirdly relatable and bafflingly absurd.
Brown bread, 3 a.m. in the morning, and you're getting this and there's a queue forming behind you. No, it's brown bread, man, yeah.
From the disinterested cashier to the apparent creepiness of other customers, he shines new light on running last-minute errands.
Hello, we're murderers. Twix, please.
Number 6. The Cunning Use of Flags. Eddie's routines often breach the British Empire, usually taking an apologetic stance for some of the less commendable moments from British history.
We don't need a bloody flag, it's our country, you bastard.
And here he takes aim at the UK's questionable past treatment of other countries, with a simple but spot-on observation, before neatly shifting focus to the Second World War and the American role in the conflict. If only real-life political negotiations were this straightforward and honest.
I love the smell of Europe in the morning.
Number 5. Political aspirations. Even in the prime of his career, Izzard has never been shy about expressing his political opinions.
Brexit is almost an anagram of recession. If you put 2 S's into the word Brexit, it's Brexession. They almost designed it that way.
A long-time supporter of Britain's Labour Party, in the 2010s, he began showing serious interest in running for Parliament himself.
I want to be inside that machine that is the tricky old area of politics where you get whole waves of hate coming towards you.
Though his initial attempts to join Labour's National Executive Committee were unsuccessful, he eventually earned a seat in March 2018, and has also declared interest in running for Mayor of London in 2020. Before long, he could be knocking on the door of number 10 himself. Number 4. Cake or Death. Another gag from his late 90s Dress to Kill show, and another regular topic in Eddie's routines: religion.
But you can't do that in Church of England. You can't say, you must have tea and cake with a vicar or you die.
Whilst pondering the Church of England, Izzard imagines an exceptionally ineffective method of testing religious dissidents, with the joke getting more ridiculous by the second.
Cake or death? Cake, please.
Izzard has always cited Monty Python as one of his greatest inspirations, with John Cleese even calling the comedian the Lost Python, and the iconic troupe's influence is clear to see here.
We're gonna run out of cake at this rate.
Number 3. Marathon of Marathons. Many famous people have staged big charity fundraisers, but Izzard's efforts trump almost every other celebrity push.
Greg tests Eddie on a running machine to discover how long he can run for.
In 2009, despite having limited running experience or training, he completed 43 marathons in 51 days all across the UK for sport relief. The titanic undertaking even earned him a special award at that year's BBC Sports Personality of the Year. What's even more impressive is that he went and did it again, following that feat by running 27 marathons in 27 days across South Africa in 2016, raising another 1.35 million for sport relief.
Nelson Mandela said, "Don't judge me by my successes, judge me by the number of times I failed and got back up again."
Number 2. UK versus US movies. British films and American blockbusters clearly sit poles apart on the cinematic spectrum, and Eddie knows it.
And you can't eat popcorn to that. You're going...
Here he turns the stylistic differences into an all-out chasm by reimagining what famous movies might look like on different sides of the pond.
Don't talk to me that way. You f*** my wife, you f*** my wife, you f*** my wife.
Dropping references to classics ranging from Raging Bull to Star Wars, Izzard's bizarre riff rounds on all types of movie stereotype, bridging the gap between the States and the UK, and pitching punchlines left, right and centre.
Hello. Look, I'm Lord Vader, and just pay a bloody attention, alright?
Number 1. Death Star Canteen. Star Wars skits are a must-have for many comedians, but Izzard sets the sci-fi benchmark with this one.
What's that star? It's the Death Star. What does it do? It does death.
Musing over everyday life on the Death Star, Eddie's imagining of how Darth Vader orders lunch has achieved a legendary status amongst stand-up comedy fans and the Star Wars fandom.
Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? This is not a game of who the f*** are you.
Inspiring many a meme and viral video, this sketch knocks all of the darkness out of the Dark Lord, with 0 lightsabers required.
With the power of the Death Star, do we not have a tray that is dry? I do not... No. I was here first. You have to form a queue if you want food.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.